you tweeted something a couple days ago that I thought was just perfect, and it was something to the effect of, these speeches aren't bad considering they were taped in January. You said something like that because obviously nothing of what's going on in America has been accurately reflected. Some of it hasn't even been mentioned. I mean, the speeches yesterday, despite how constantly they would, attack Biden saying he can't make it through anything, they were virtually all pre-taped. And so they didn't comment on any of the massive events that were going on yesterday. But indeed, even in a larger sense, all the comments about COVID have all been in the past. We've moved past it. The economy is doing great, which obviously that isn't what the experience of what most Americans is. I get that they're not gonna focus on what's going wrong. But is this gonna play? Like for people who are watching this, like they're out there, they're worried for their families, they're worried about their jobs or their businesses. And it feels like an alternate reality that's being broadcast to them. You've seen a lot of these. Is this gonna work?
Yeah, first of all, yes. I mean, to an extent, it works with the people it needs to work with. I guess it's a multi-layered question. It does feel as if they pushed the pause button 6 months ago, and nothing that happened in the last 6 months matters to what they're trying to portray here. And that was really the fall of both the economy, confidence in the president, business, jobs, everything went south. And it went south because of the virus, and it stayed south because of how they responded to the virus. That said, I think that this election is different than many of the others that I've covered because I feel as if there is a decided electorate. There's very little wiggle room in the middle. It's about getting, for the Democrats, it's about getting young black men to vote. It's about getting the very progressive voters who call themselves Democrats out to vote for someone who they don't necessarily love. And for the Republicans, they have to rally their base, but they seem so base focused that I think they're shooting themselves in the foot by not going after some of the voters who left the Democratic Party and voted for them last time, or were inactive and voted for them last time. I don't understand their policy. They won the White House. They're there, so they know something that I don't. But I just don't this time understand their strategy, not policy, in trying to get reelected. This whole week was, in a sense, an opportunity for them to talk about chaos, and that the chaos is happening in democratic cities and democratic states. By and large, even though that has nothing to do with anything, right? It's about policing and it's about other factors. But this is an opportunity that they've blown by pretending that none of it's happening, in a sense, and just going to the police and saying, oh, Blue Lives Matter. The police, the frontline workers, they love a first responder in that Republican Party, and they had them there last night. They created the term first responders in the wake of 9/11. So I think this whole idea that this is going to matter a lot is false. I don't think the Democrat, going into these two conventions, I thought there was one speech that mattered over all the 8 days. That was the speech that Senator Sanders was going to make. He made the speech. He seemed much more enthusiastic than he did 4 years ago about supporting the ticket. He then, a few nights later, was in that sort of survivor game with Cory Booker and the other candidates, which I liked.
I like that.
Yeah, I thought not just because I liked it as Michael. I liked it because I think it's a good thing to do for a party to show that everybody's kind of on the same page here. We've got to get rid of this guy, and that worked. Yeah. But that's the only thing that I think is going to move the dial at all. I don't think anything that anybody else said. Maybe that Biden seemed strong, but I've seen him give so many good speeches. I wasn't surprised about that. So
I thought you had said that you thought it was among his best.
I did. Yeah, I did think. I think it was the best. I think I said it was the finest speech I'd ever seen him give, and it wasn't sort of momentary hyperbole. I really do think it was a great speech, and I didn't have the bar low for him. I think, but unfortunately for him, the bar was low. Joe Biden gives, he can give good speeches. I don't think he's a great debater. I don't think that he is necessarily a great interview. He does a disingenuous laugh that he's done forever. I know he's a good guy. People like Joe Biden. That's not the issue here. And he doesn't have to sell that in a way that doesn't come across as necessarily real, but he is a good guy. And he gave a good speech, but I don't even think that speech matters, John. I think what matters is the fact that the Democrats want to try and get unity, and they wanted to try and attract other voters through ways that are discomfiting to a lot of Democrats, but I think maybe made a little sense. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Bernie's was big. It was a little bit undercut by AOC deciding to go rogue and endorse Sanders instead of Joe Biden.
Right. Yeah. What was she thinking?
Oh my God, I don't understand it because I don't know anything about what's happening at this convention. Also, I'm a multi-billionaire media company.
Right, yeah.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.